You're listening to the More Than a Worship Leader podcast. Here's your host, Gary Durbin.
Welcome to the More Than a Worship Leader podcast, where we talk about worship ministry in the local church. Today, I'm going to give you my thoughts on picking songs. The privilege and responsibility we have as worship leaders to plan worship sets and pick songs is so important in more than one way. And the way you handle that privilege determines whether you are indeed more than a worship leader. So here we go. Psalm 69 verse 30 says, "Praise the name of the Lord with a song." In the Getty's book called Sing, they say, "Our songs are the public manifesto of what we believe." So what songs do we sing? Well, to answer that question, I want to talk about two major factors, and that is song selection and song rotation. So first, let's talk about song selection. Now, I want you to stop and think about the weight and responsibility of song selection. I mean, these songs are prayers. They're tools to teach theology, good or bad. My friend Troy Kennedy said, "The songs that you pick are giving people a heart vocabulary in their intimacy with Jesus." Wow, that's powerful. So we want to handle song selection with integrity and with prayer. So I have two main filters when I think about song selection, and it's pretty simple. The two filters are biblical and singable. Are they biblical? Are they singable? So when it comes to being biblical, a song should be doctrinally sound because songs teach. Songs are a discipleship tool. So what that means is when we think about, is a song biblical, and we answer that honestly, sometimes that's going to lead us to say no to songs, even really great songs musically, but they're not biblical, so we say no. In John 4, Jesus said the type of worship that the Father's looking for is worship that's in spirit, so it's passionate, but also in truth. So God values our songs being doctrinal when we're singing to them, which makes a lot of sense. So does it line up with Scripture? And who determines if it's biblical? That's a really good question when you think about determining what songs we should do and are they biblical. Now, you may be fully capable of looking and vetting songs and making sure that they are right and they are truth. But one of the big suggestions that I have is go ahead and allow your pastor or pastors at your church to approve any new song that you teach. I mean, what are we afraid of there? I mean, if they say no, if they find something in there that is questionable, then they're doing us as a church a favor. So don't be afraid of that. Have a little approval process where you can get other eyes on it. The other filter is it singable? That means, is it accessible? There's a difference between Christian music and worship music. And, when it comes to our church services, I don't want to see a bunch of people just listening to the songs. I want them singing the songs. Rich Mullins said, "Singing is the most reiterated command in the Bible." Psalm 47:6 says, "Sing praises to our God, sing praises. Sing praises to our King, sing praises." See, it comes down to, what do you want?
What do you want?
That's what I ask worship leaders when we talk about this. What do you want? Do you want engagement or do you want entertainment? You see, a heart for singable and biblical songs makes you more than a worship leader. Now let's talk about song rotation. My rotation formula is very simple. I think of it in this way: past, present, and future songs. When you think about past songs, these are songs that we've sung for years, like obviously old hymns. But then there's like those songs that we used to sing like 10 to 20 years ago, like maybe 10,000 Reasons, Great I Am, Revelation Song, and How He Loves. Bruce Springsteen said, "A good song takes on more meaning as the years pass by." Find the balance of not forgetting past songs without killing them, because no song is so good that it can't be overdone. Don't forget the songs of the past. Then there's present songs. These are songs that are currently impacting your church. So in my church, I would say Gratitude, You've Already Won, Firm Foundation, Same God, Holy Forever. These present songs, they're the soundtrack of your church. And how do you know which songs are in that soundtrack? Well, it's pretty simple. Your church will tell you because they will sing them. Recognize that and keep them threaded in the rotation. Then lastly, there's future songs. Songs we don't know yet. Psalm 96, Psalm 98, Psalm 149, they all start with a challenge to sing a new song to the Lord. Now, when it comes to new songs, to future songs, there's two extremes. There's extreme of never teaching a new song, and then there's the extreme of teaching new songs too often. See, when we never teach a new song, we're actually disobeying Scripture. But when we teach them too often, we're disregarding the church's ability to retain. I found that the rhythm of one new song a month has been best. So I would suggest that. And then keep a record of it. It's a really cool thing to look back on the songs that you've taught. Be prayerful and be careful in choosing past, present, and future songs. Being in charge of song selection and song rotation is a privilege and responsibility of the worship leader. But it's also fun. What a joy to be able to help our church articulate their heart's cry to God each week. If you see it in that light, you are more than a worship leader.
Thanks for listening to this episode. Please add this to your podcast list, review it, and share it with others. And don't forget about Gary's books, More Than a Worship Leader and More Than a Band, available on Amazon today.